If you're planning to make a move to the Chicago suburbs, whether you're living in a city or in another state altogether, this video is for you. Let's break it down. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having an incredible day. If you don't know, my name is Aram. I'm a real estate agent here in the Chicagoland area. I service the city and all the suburbs we're going to be talking about today. If you have any specific questions for me, you need to reach me for any reason at all, please feel free to hit any of the links in the description below. There will be one that can direct you straight to my contact information, and you can reach out to me at your earliest convenience. That being said, if you found this video helpful in any way, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is a new channel for me, so I need all the help I can get. With that being said, let's talk about the Chicago suburb. It's surprisingly very simple, and once I explain it to you all, I think you'll have a good idea of where you may want to move to, right? So the way I'll do it is I'll give you the region, what it's called, and then what you can expect to see in these areas. And to make the information a little bit more digestible for everybody, I'm gonna pop up a map right here on the screen. We're gonna go to my computer, and I'm literally going to draw in the areas I'm talking about. So you'll see the distance that it is from the city, depending on your certain criteria of where you need to move on your budget, type of property you want, the distance from the city, etc., etc. So without further ado, let's go to the computer. So here we are. This right here is the beautiful, Chicagoland area. You'll see the city right here. It's rather large. And then you get over here. These are technically, they're independent cities. They're no longer considered Chicago, like Cicero, Berwyn's down here, Oak Park. I mean, technically, these are, quote, the suburbs. But if you live here, very few people consider Oak Park a suburb of Chicago, right? It's almost like an extension of Chicago just because of the property type, the land you get, etc. The Chicago suburbs are divided into 5 different sections. And once I break it down to you, you'll see how simple and easy it is to understand. The first part is considered the northern suburbs, aka the North Shore. So as we look on the map, you'll see I-94, this expressway right here that eventually turns to 294. Pretty much anything east is considered the North Shore. You could probably already guess why. It's right on the shores of Lake Michigan. And it's basically anything east of this highway, like I said. Highland Park, Northbrook, Glenview, Evanston is where it starts. And then up to Lake Forest and North Chicago. Honestly, past Lake Forest, it's almost like a different part of the world up there, right? Nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit further away from the Chicagoland area, so it's more like just Illinois than it is the Chicago suburbs. So a little background on the North Shore. This is basically where some of the most expensive homes in the Chicago suburbs are going to be located. The reason behind this is, number one, the location is phenomenal. Number two, you cannot pick a town in the North Shore and get a bad school district. Glenview, Northbrook, Evanston, Winnetka, Wilmette, Northfield, Kenilworth, which is one of the most expensive zip codes, Glencoe, Lake Forest. These are all cities in the North Shore, and every single one of them has a phenomenal school district. So you cannot go wrong. Highland Park, almost forgot that. You cannot go wrong with any of these cities. However, just know they're rather expensive. I would say entry point, expensive is relative. Entry point, if you want like an okay house, not gonna be too big, is probably gonna be at $400,000. But to be more realistic, you're gonna expect to pay at least $500,000 to $600,000 for a decent sized home in this area. And it could go up to maybe $4 or $5 million. Obviously, we have $10 million homes as well, but they're just not as common. You're mostly gonna be dealing anywhere from $1 to $3 million. That's literally where the luxury real estate in the Chicago suburbs is all located. Next up, if you already guessed it, if that's the North Shore, next up is the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Basically, you take Chicago, you go northwest. This whole region right here is considered to be the northwest suburbs. This is actually where I live, where I spend majority of my time. Part of the suburbs is a lot more affordable. Yes, are there expensive markets within where you could get a $1 million home? Absolutely. But one of the best things about the Chicago suburbs is its variety, okay? Now, you don't necessarily have to spend $600,000 to get a good school district. For example, Schaumburg, Hoffman Estates, Elk Grove Village, even Arlington Heights, they have some of the best school districts as well, right? 9 out of 10 schools, 10 out of 10 schools, things like this. However, they're a lot more affordable. For example, if you want a property in Schaumburg, which is where I currently live, where the school districts are 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, right? Let's just talk about high schools for now. The average price point to get into Schaumburg is going to be around $250,000 to $300,000. Now, some people that might be dirt cheap. To some people that might be expensive. Depending on where you're coming from, these are the prices to work with. So perspective is the name of the game here. Next up, did you guess it already? It's the western suburbs. It's directly west of Chicago. Basically, this is south of the highway I just mentioned, which is 290, that eventually becomes 390. So basically, this area right here, this line I'm drawing for you, so anything north of here and then south of here is considered to be the western suburbs, right? And you have, again, a tremendous amount of variety in this section of the suburbs as well. You have towns like Wheaton, which is a pretty well expensive area, Downers Grove. You have Oak Brook, a lot of luxury homes in Oak Brook. You have one of the most expensive zip codes as well in Hinsdale. Average price point over there is about $1.8 million. So it gets a little pricey. Again, phenomenal school districts. And people who need to have a quick commute to the city really love this area because it's right by the metro. There's a metro that runs right through here all the way to downtown Chicago. The suburbs are phenomenal. You get a lot of space. And they're not really, unless you're in like Elmhurst and some other areas around here, you have a lot of land to work with. And the prices are very reasonable. Like Villa Park, Lombard, you can get yourself a pretty nice property for around, depending on your criteria, you could start at about $240 and work your way up. Again, there's $1 million homes as well there. And you're gonna see that as a pattern in every suburbs we talk about because there is a home for everybody, okay? And that's what I love about the Chicago suburbs. Now, if you're feeling a little bit more country and you wanna keep going, you'll get into St. Charles, Geneva, Batavia. It's an older part of town. Basically, if you want quiet life, not too much going on, but still things to do when you do get bored. St. Charles, Geneva, Batavia, they actually are bordering right on the river, and there's small little towns over across the river with a lot of restaurants, bars, and other activities for you to do. So if that's what you're into, there's that option as well. Just note, you're gonna be a little bit of a distance away from downtown Chicago if you work there or whatever your set of circumstances are. And following along, you saw the north suburbs, northwest suburbs, the western suburbs. Next up, ding, 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 is the southwest suburbs of Chicago. And this is where the lines are a little bit tricky because technically we're getting pretty south here and it's still considered the southwest suburbs, right? So the southwest suburbs, so you take Route 55 right here, you go south. So you got Romeoville, Orland Park, Joliet, New Lenox, Frankfort, Tinley Park, Homer Glen. There's a bunch of towns over here. A lot of bigger homes and higher taxes because I think there's a less population here, but you could get a lot more for your money down here in my opinion. You can get a really, let's say, you can probably get a 4,000 square foot home for about or in that 400K range. And then lastly, it is the south suburbs. I have absolutely no knowledge of this area completely because it's just so far away from where I am, but it is a place if you're interested. I do know since it's closer to Indiana, the prices are significantly less. You're gonna get a lot more for your money than you could possibly imagine. When I say a lot more, you could get a whole house for probably $150,000 to $200,000, right? So if you budget tight, that might be an area you're interested in. So that's a quick breakdown of the Chicago suburbs. And basically what I want to do with this video is just keep it very general because I don't want to overwhelm you with information, especially if you're just starting your search or doing some research. It's important to know what areas you like, and then you can dive in and find out more information about those areas. And those videos will be coming to you in the next several weeks. So if you watch this, you like it, please hit the like button, leave a comment. I'll reply to every single one of them. And then of course, subscribe. And if you need to reach me, like I said, there's a link in the description with all of my information. You can reach me with any questions, concerns, or to hire me. That being said, thanks again and have a great day.